welcome back to Farm Chat. I'm David. I know it's been a while, everybody's been asking me where I've been and all that stuff. And it has been busy around here, trying to get things in order and things ready and all that stuff for the fall. I'll tell you about a few things that's happened since we last chatted. We have new management in place here at the ranch. Two young folks that are really great and have led the way in helping this community to build and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff, helping them and trying to support them and teach them different things. We've also put a community calendar into place and started doing activities and things like that. So those are rolling now. I've opened the restaurant in October, back to the public and back to the community and back to the motel guests and the retreat guests on 3 days a week now. So that's doing okay in the beginning. I'm sure it'll pick up as the fall season gets into a swing. But how are y'all doing? And I'm sorry that I haven't talked to you in a while, but I just wanted to say hello and maybe do my little chicken chat thing here today. That's what I've decided to call it. It's more like me just sitting around thinking about stuff. It's the things that we talk about around the campfires and as a management group or as a community when we're just sitting out here on the ranch just shooting the bull. I will say this, because I've been a little bit scared to do a video. I'm not very good at them, but I'm going to try to do one a week, long form video, and then I'll post my chats, my shorts and stuff as I go throughout the week and everything, so that people can have some of the clips to look at. I know y'all like the animals and things like that, and those have started to pick up views and things, so trying to focus a little bit more on the channel now that I have some downtime, and especially going into the winter. I'll have a little bit more downtime. I can probably do a few cooking videos and things like that, which I talked about doing in the beginning, and then doing a little bit more in-depth stuff, quick stuff for people that want to learn how we live out here. And, I just wanted to say that it's nice living here in an RV park. The community is getting to know each other, and so I feel like everybody's starting to kind of collaborate a little bit more about how they want this place to be. The RV park part of it is pretty new. It's only been here for a few years, but it's growing rapidly, which is great. A lot of new long-termers moving in with families and things like that, so it's nice to have that. I do have some notes here. I'm going to be looking at them, just so you know. I write them down. I'm not fancy. Just about things that I think about, and I figured I might talk about those things, and if it helps somebody, then that's great. And that's what I want to do here on the channel, is just provide some sort of value for people and entertainment, if that's what you're interested in. I am wearing my new shirt for the cafe, the Radio Cafe. These are baseball tees, and they're available at my site on Robin Wolf Apparel if you're interested in that. It's linked in the description. So how's life been here? Well, it's been very, very pretty interesting since I've moved in over here. A lot of turnover in the very beginning, a lot of people not accepting changes and things like that. And then I come from the totally different world than this. I've always had animals and been near animals and enjoyed my animals and things like those sorts of things. Had chickens and ducks and dogs and cats and all kinds of stuff. Ziggy had passed away, as you all know, back in April. So we went through that process, and then Tucker's learning to be a really sweet dog, a guardian dog for the animals out in the farm. He stays out there at night and watches them during the night, and then I bring him up to eat with me in the morning, and we go through our routine. And the cats have had many kittens. They've been adopted out or placed into new homes, and so now I have 4 cats at the barn that are my barn cats, which I'll do videos on them too, because people have been asking about them. And then I adopted one of the kittens. Her name is Kiki, which I did post a video about that. And then, of course, Felix is still around. He's about, I think, a year or year and a few months old now. He's gone through the last winter, I know it for sure, at least the last winter with me, so he's at least a year old. And he's doing well, still special needs, but he's doing fine. He doesn't know he's special needs, so it's great. And they both sleep inside at night in this little cabin RV with me. What else has been going on? New staffing, new people moving in, like I said, new social media marketing people coming in on board starting in November, new fall menu starting in October. That started for retreats and things like that here that we have. We just had a church group leave this weekend. Really enjoyed that. It's interesting to me how people fly all over the country and come to places like this and don't know how to slow down, and then we've just got to say, you know, it's going to be okay, and then they just have a great time, and then they end up leaving good reviews and appreciating the staff and giving us hugs and things like that on their way back to Oregon, California, New York, Kentucky, wherever they're from, because that group was from everywhere this weekend. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a pretty easy one to do. As long as people relax and stuff like that, then I think it's easier for them to get used to just being out in the middle of nowhere. It's silent out here. Posted a video yesterday or the day before yesterday about the constellations in the sky now. Venus had risen with the moon the last couple of days, and that was a sight. So I took video of that and posted that on the site as well as a short. So if y'all are interested in any stargazing stuff from the country out here in Texas, it's a wide open sky here, and it's great to just sit out at night and just watch stuff. Anyway, that's what's basically been going on. All the animals are doing really well this year. Got pairs of animals now, which I didn't have before. Due to coyotes and things getting into the barn, I've fixed the barn. I just built a brand new rabbit pen yesterday and put the 2 rabbits in there so that they can have a family, hopefully starting this winter, and then we can maybe sell some baby rabbits in the springtime, or just keep them as pets. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with keeping them and all that. So I did that. That's done in the barn. The barn's been cleaned out. It's been prepped for winter. Everything looks great in there. I'll take you on a barn tour one day and show you that too, because I basically rebuilt all that out there when I moved over here, and that's one of my jobs here, is to take care of the animals and make sure they have clean places and food and things. So I don't just feed the people here, which I was talking about with the guests today. I also feed all the animals here, and I also feed myself here, my family here, and you know, the people that work here. So it's a big job, but I enjoy all of that stuff, and it makes my day go by, and I don't have anything to worry about other than that. I can basically walk to work. This 80 acres out here, it's nice to just take a walk or take a break or go swimming or whatever you want to do. Anyway, some of the things I was thinking about today as I was driving into town to go get some groceries was that everybody basically has a role here, and that's important. And when you know what your role is, it's well communicated and everything, as I talked about in another video. Communication, connection, and consistency, those are the 3 things, and I think everybody's starting to learn that. But everybody has a role here, and we all work together as a team to make this place, a small team albeit, to make this place work and run right, or the best that we can, and we try to do that with compassion. And I just look at those things and say, as long as everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, everything's going to run right. It's kind of like the animals out in comparing it to the animals out in the farm or barn. The chickens do the work. They do all the scratching and eating and stuff like that. The roosters watch, and then they have more chickens, and then we have more chickens, and then they lay eggs, and everything kind of comes full circle. And I don't think a lot of time people realize that. I talked to a couple of the ladies today, and we have royal palm turkeys, which are the white and black turkeys, which they just molted and regrew all their feathers back in, so looking really pretty. And they all took pictures of them and was asking about them and all that stuff. And it's a rare heritage breed, if you don't know that, from a long, long time ago. Really pretty turkeys. So everybody had to go out there and take pictures with them, and so everybody has a role, just like they do in the barn. The chickens clean up after the goats, and the cats clean up after the pigs, and and when they're eating and stuff, and everybody just kind of works in their little circle. They don't hold it against each other. As long as everybody gets fed, they're all fine, and they seem to be doing really well this year. So I'm really proud of that, and glad for that. But that was just that point. That's what made me think of that. Another thing is talking about wisdom. I always say the two best gifts are wisdom and freedom, which is the next thing that we're going to talk about. But wisdom's different from just being intelligent. Wisdom comes with life lessons and the things that you learn throughout your life. I'm about at the midpoint now, so I can actually say that. Me and my boss joke about that all the time, but you start to notice things, time goes faster, and you start to notice things that become patterns, and you're like, okay, well, I've made that mistake, I'm not going to make that mistake again. That's what wisdom is. And especially living out in the rural areas and things like that, a lot of the people that live in the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains and things of that nature, way out in the country, or on an acreage like this, or even bigger, you do something one time and you mess up, you won't ever do that again, because then you've wasted time, resources, and energy on it. And so wisdom becomes essential, and it's a gift. And once you learn to keep those things and learn from those things that you've made mistakes on, you probably won't make those again. And it just brings you forward to your goal of whatever it is that you're doing. I try to be as efficient as I can when I'm cooking. After about 30 years of that, you get really good at it. You know exactly what order to do things in, how to bake something, how to cook something at the same time, and what order to do that in, what order to mix the ingredients in, how much it is. I don't even measure anymore. I just do it, and then I try to teach people how to look at it that way, as a big picture item or learning lesson. And then as far as freedom goes, wisdom and freedom together, those two things, man, if you get wisdom and freedom together, you have it made. So that's kind of the way I feel. I feel blessed right now to have both the wisdom from life and the freedom to do what I want to do, and create things the way that I want to create them, knowing that people now, through experience, trust me that I'm able to lead and do those programs on my own without a lot of supervision. And I think that you have to go through a hard period of time in order to be able to learn some of those things. But once you learn that, and you're consistent and connected with whoever it is or whatever it is that you're doing, and you communicate what you need and how you need to be taught, and all that, and then those things are interchangeable. Those three things are interchangeable, and once you learn that, you're going to be set up for wisdom and freedom in the future. You really will be. You learn how to manage your money. You learn how to get a job without going and applying everywhere, because you're not just a job hopper. If that offends somebody, I'm sorry, there are those people out there. But, and that's just part of being consistent. Like I said, that's just part of the thing. But at this point, I really feel like I need to convey that people need to slow down a little bit, slow down a little bit, take a look around. It seems like nobody looks up at the sky at night. I try to do that every night, or at least every other night, or at least in the morning when I'm having my coffee, getting ready for work before dawn. And that's another thing people don't realize is if I'm working a retreat that has breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm up before dawn, before the sun rises, because I've got to be there to cook breakfast, then go feed the animals, then feed my pets at the house, then feed myself, always feed myself last, then, you know, get a shower or whatever it may be, and then go back to do lunch. And then it just continues like that all day. I'll get a break. It's not like I don't have a break. But, you know, slowing down to think about what you're actually doing, what you're actually seeing throughout the day, observing things from the big picture standpoint, I think is a huge thing. If people did that every day or just looked around instead of just looking in here and being focused what's right in front of you, you know, plan 4 or 5 things a day that you want to accomplish. If it's 2 or 3 things a day, or even 1 or 2 things a day, plan those things. And I really feel that it helps me a lot. Maybe it'll help somebody else. Like I said, I'm pretty. I've learned to slow down, but it took me a while because I was working a really, really busy job in the city, doing restaurants and working with the elderly in the healthcare system and in many different places. And I've just learned that, and they taught me that, really. Just slow down and look at it. You know, it's all been done before. Everything can't offend me. You know, what are you going to do? You know, hurt me? You know, off me? What are you going to do? You know, and when you're 90 years old, I'm sure it even feels even more freeing than it does now. So I can't wait to get there. But I love it here. It's a great place to live. I just wanted to catch up with everybody, let you know how things are going out here at the ranch. If you have any questions for me, please send them in the comments. If you like the videos that I do or have suggestions for things that you want to hear me talk about, I know I have a really southern type style voice. I am from Texas. I can't help it. This is the way I was raised. But I do like talking to people, and I'm not very good at these videos, but I'll try to do the best I can. And I'm still human. I'm still going to think about things. So these are the types of things that affect me on a day-to-day basis. And hopefully you enjoy the videos and you enjoy the shorts. And if you do, please subscribe. And I'm not going to beg you, but if you really enjoy them, subscribe, and I'll do more of them. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get to talk live and do all that stuff too as the channel grows. It's grown a little bit over the summer. My goal was to get the at least the views up and more subscribers, and seems like the analytics say I'm doing pretty well right now. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm patient. Like I said, freedom, wisdom, and patience, and education, and teaching yourself and helping others is more important to me than growing a YouTube channel. But I really do enjoy doing it, because I like sharing my life with people and I like teaching people. If you have suggestions about how I could teach you better, just let me know. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time.